and welcome again to our virtual classroom. Today we are at page 65, Unit 4, Lesson 5, Part 2, The Sights of London. We are going to study about some interesting places in London. So let's see what we are going to do at the lesson. We are going to learn new information about some places of interest in London and use it in different exercises. Take a look at the screen. Here is the word London. Which associations do you have with it? Let's see my associations. First one is Houses of Parliament. Next one, Big Ben. The other, London Eye. Next is Tower Bridge. Another is a tube train. Next is the changing of the guards. Next one, Queen Elizabeth II. And the last one is Oxford Street. Now we are going to listen to the text and read about famous places and things in London. First one is Houses of Parliament. It is where all British laws are decided. There are 3 main towers. There are 1,000 rooms in the Houses of Parliament. Big Ben. The tower was finished in 1858. Big Ben is a part of Houses of Parliament. The other, London Eye. The London Eye lets people see all of London. There are 32 capsules on the London Eye. It takes 30 minutes to go all the way around. Next one, Tower Bridge. The middle part of the bridge raises up to let ships through. It stands over the River Thames. The other is a tube train. London was the first country in the world to have an underground railway. It opened in 1863. There are 270 stations. Next is the changing of the guards. The changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace ceremony begins on the forecourt of Buckingham Palace at 11:30 sharp. The ceremony lasts about 45 minutes. Changing the guard at Buckingham Palace usually take place daily from April until the end of July. Next information is about Queen Elizabeth II. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II was born in London on April 21st, 1926. Memorize it. The Queen is the head of the state. The Queen also has 8 grandchildren, 4 grandsons, and 4 granddaughters, and 3 great-grandchildren. Next one, Oxford Street. Oxford Street is the busiest street in London. There are many shops and 500,000 daily visitors. Now it's practice time. Look at the screen. It's a practice time. Look at the screen. Now we are going to do a quiz on some information which you have learned on the previous exercise. So, first, how many capsules are on the London Eye? You have 4 variants. A. 22, B. 12, C. 20, D. 32. Think a little. Ready? Let's check the answer. It is 32. Great if you are correct. Let's continue. Next one. Where does Tower Bridge stand? You have 4 variants. First, near the River Thames. B. Nowhere. C. Under the English Channel. D. Over the River Thames. You have time to think. Done? Let's check. The answer is D. Over the River Thames. The third question is, how old is the Queen? We have 4 variants. Variant A, 94. Number B, 92. Next one, C, 72. And the last one, 85. Please remind her birthday. Are you ready? Let's check together the answer. She is 94. And the last question is, how many grandchildren does the Queen have? You have time to think. You have 4 variants. First, A, 5. Next, B, 4. Third, C, 10. And the last, D, 8. You have time to think. Ready? Let's see the answer. Correct. It is 8. So, the last activity which I have prepared for you is true or false. Here are 4 sentences. Let's read them together and decide which is true and which is false. The first sentence. There are 1,001 rooms in the Houses of Parliament. You have time to think. Ready? Let's see if it's correct or false. It's false. No 1,001. It's only how many? Which is the answer? It is 1,000. The next one. Oxford Street is the busiest street in Chicago. You have time to think. Ready? Let's check if it is true or false. No, it's false. Oxford Street is in London, and Oxford Street is the busiest street in London. The third one is, the Queen is the head of the state. You have time to think. Ready? Let's check together. Yes, it is correct. The Queen is the head of the state. And the last one is Big Ben is a part of House of Commons. Is it true or false? You have time to think. Done? Let's see the answer. No, it's not correct. Big Ben is a part of Houses of Parliament. Now it's reflection time. I propose you to write 3-4 sentences about some interesting places in London from the information you have learned today, using the following words: bridge, Queen, Tower, Throne, Buckingham Palace, the busiest street. Here is the end of the lesson. Let's see what we have learned in this section. In this section of the lesson, we have learned some general information about some places of interest in London. Practice it, asking and answering on the topic. That's the end of the lesson, and thank you for being together. See you next time. Bye.